Okay, this is just like a basic counter to the guard. Well, it's not a counter, it's more of a defense. And we're not trying to stop them pulling guard. There's a lot of ways people can pull guard, and it's very difficult to stop someone pulling guard. If their intention is to do so, they're going to find ways to do it at different distances. The distance we're talking about today is like close range here, not close enough that he can jump guard, but at like a mid range, so we're not like hip to hip, he isn't throwing in, and we're kind of our heads in front of our hips. Okay, if we are anticipating a guard jump, we always want to have a hand free to block the hips. Okay, and then the same idea for stopping the jump guard. When we split our legs, it should be very difficult, but we're trying to stop them getting closed guard. If James puts a foot on the hip and pulls me into guard, and once I'm squared, he can climb the body. So it can be as fluid as that, where he's cutting an angle, or it can be very square. Okay, depending on your level. You can be white belt, blue belt. They see this really common with white and blue belts, where the defending player, the player who's not pulling, takes a square position when they pull, and they're kind of bent over, and then they just climb up the body with the legs. So if you're in guard on bottom, so if I'm here and he has feet on the hips, he can just climb my body quite easily and pull me in. I say if he has. Or if he takes an angle, if he is dominating your sleeve, he's going to pull through and expose that gap. So for James, he would want to be dominating that right arm. So as he pulls, even if I'm here on the ground, he can have this foot past the hip, and he can lift his hips through. Even if I drop to one knee in here, he can expose this space and start to lift through. So what we're going to do is look to wedge our knee between us and our opponent to keep his legs separated. Keep their legs separated, and then we can start to work into controlling passing position. So whatever way you kind of feel like your opponent wants to pull, depending on their grips, I want you to commit to switching your hips as they pull. So as James pulls into guard, I take that hip out of the way and replace it with a knee in the middle. Now, this is not a bad position, but closed guard is much worse, especially the lower belt. From here, yes, he does have K guard options and coming under this leg, but we can deal with that pretty easy. Still very difficult for James to pull himself into closed guard, especially if I start to dominate the inside of his knee with my knee. He has a hip and I have his knee, that's fine. I can deal with this quite easily. I just need to protect this far leg. But if James is trying to get closed guard from here, it's very difficult. So if you're getting pulled into closed guard, split your legs, make your body really long, and wedge your knee in the middle. Try to keep your knee on the inside of your forearm. Try not to overextend with this, okay? Because submissions come as you split your stance. You're exposing your lead leg and arm to omoplatas, arm bars, triangles, all those things. So as James pulls, as I feel him lift his leg, bring that leg out of the way and wedge in the middle. So this is quite a tall reaction, meaning that I'm just moving my leg and dropping and wedging. But say if James was moving from like quite far away and sliding in, okay, he may get caught square. So what you can do in any of the scenarios is as he pulls in, we just honker into this position. So we're here. So we've just set with the knee in the middle and the collar. So if James is pulling any variation of pull that he wants to do, I can just sit. And see how there's not much space? The only thing that's going to come in is this knee shield to start to off balance us. But we can deal with this, opening our knee, putting our leg in the middle. We can keep this leg in the middle too if we don't want to allow underhooking the leg and start to pass. But simply going from here to here, but there's no access behind the knee or behind the leg or on the other leg, and we're in a strong position with our forearm and lead arm. So this is my lead. That's going to give us a really good chance to negate close guard and guard attacks initially. So as James pulls into guard, I sit and I can come back up. I can use my footwork to get wherever I want to be. But if you keep getting pulled into close guard in competition, don't stay square. So don't be staying here. As he pulls in, and this happens. You get tripod swept. You're on bottom. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be square. There is instances where you can be locked out here, and then as he pulls in, you can block, and then put a leg in and move like half guard. Easy. But it's less likely to pay off at the start if you're not well versed in avoiding the legs. And depending on the length and strength of your opponent will determine how well you're going to be able to deal with that. Make it really easy. Split the stance and keep a wedge in between the legs to keep them separated. Or if you can, control the legs as they pull. So he's here. Sorry, I'm here. Yeah. And just bypass it. Again, no, it's less likely, but you can just attack a guard pass instead. So what we're trying to do is control our opponent, not just attack them. There is options to do that, but this is one really good way that's helped like beginner students, white, blue belts, and kids. Okay, that's defending the guard pull.